Hey, welcome back. In this video, we shall be looking at the various data types in Solidity. There are two main data types in Solidity. All data types in Solidity can be grouped into the value type and reference type. As we progress through this course, I will be explaining deeper into the difference between value types and reference types. So let's begin with value types. So value types include booleans, integers, enums, address, and fixed size arrays. So we shall begin by looking at the booleans. So how to create a variable of type boolean in Solidity? So we start by defining the type of the variable, then the name we wish to call it, then we assign a value. And for boolean values, we can only assign either true or false. One important thing to note in Solidity is that every statement or expression must end with a semicolon. So here we just created two variables, give them a name of is true and is false, and assign a boolean value to it. Next, we'll be looking at integers. So integers in Solidity consist of two types. We have the signed integers and the unsigned integers. And how do you identify them? For the signed integers, we use the int keyword, then the name of the variable, let's say go, then assign a value to it. Then for the unsigned integers, we use uint and call it com, and assign a value of 20 to it. So if you're wondering the difference between signed and unsigned integers, the main difference is that signed integers, which is this first one, the int, is used to store numbers with signs. That is, you can use it to store both positive and negative numbers. So we can come down here. Let's give it a different name. Let's call it x. And we can put in a negative value here. But for unsigned integers, we can't assign a negative value. So as you can see, we get an error here. So this is just to tell us that unsigned integers, which begins with this u, that's what this u stands for, is only used to store positive numbers, while signed integers can be used to store both positive and negative numbers. So always have that at the back of your mind. Then one last thing about the integers is that we have different variants of the integers, which is when creating an integer variable, we have options of selecting the particular size of the variable is going to be. So let's take for an instance, we want to create a variable of an unsigned integer. Let's call it boy. So we have the option of saying uint of size 8 and give the variable boy a value of 20. As you can see, we have uint of size 8. So this 8 refers to 8 bits. We also have other options. So we also have other options which are multiples of 8. So we can use 16. 16 times 2, we have 32. We have 64. We have 128. 256. So with this, we can see the different variations of the unsigned integer. Mind you, this same rule applies for both the signed and unsigned integers. The number we have at the end is used to specify the maximum number this variable can store. So when you think, okay, why do we have different sizes for storing number? The goal is to reduce the size of the memory our smart contract is going to consume on the chain, because the smaller the size our smart contract consumes, the better. It goes a long way to save gas fee and other resources. So most times you tend to see people specify the exact size of variables in their smart contracts. And to prove to you that this also works for the signed integers, and we're just going to create the same variables quickly for the signed integers. So as you can see, we have the same variables for signed integers and these same rules apply. So that is all for integers in Solidity.